Morning, everyone. It's Saturday. You ready for the weekend? You ready for the epic weekend? Oh, there's a beautiful classic. Beautiful car I just drove by in Bel Air, yellow and white. So, a lot of people are emailing and texting me. Good morning, everyone. Mark, how are you? A lot of people are emailing and texting me that they are running into a lot of challenges, a lot of frustrations when it comes to filling out all the paperwork or filling out all the online fields for unemployment. I have heard a few victories, procedures that work, and as I get that information and with confirmed successes, I will be making videos. One of them last night was reporting on the best procedure in Texas after a driver, Brian, put in a lot of work, spoke to the highest officials there, and Texas really seems to be ahead of the curve as far as helping rideshare drivers and gig workers. So thumbs up for Texas, right? California, it's a fat mess. It's a fat mess. And the way we can pressurize these officials, senators, statespeople, Congress people, is to get them involved in the conversation, and don't be shy to out their names. The bottom line is they have all the money in the world, so they better put things in place very, very quickly and follow up on those promises, right? Mark says Nevada is supposed to update their system tonight. And Mark, if you get a success in Nevada, bring it to me, because I really only want to make videos on successful procedures, because there are thousands and thousands of videos, blogs made, just sort of explaining the general process. But the websites are set up for the general unemployment process, but they are definitely not ready, as we found out, to cater to the industry, to cater to independent contractors, to cater to gig workers, to cater to food delivery drivers. $100 note set if that money does promise, just because, they only turn into than an independent contractor, right? We needed more rights. So I always say, we're getting there. I tell you what, the pandemic, in a way, it sounds crazy, but it's pushing for more of those rights. It's pushing for immediate change, right? Because people were dragging their feet on state level. Uber and Lyft and other companies were abusing the laws, filing lawsuit, getting extensions, drawing out the time. Now the issue is forced, right? They're forced to act. The problem is that certain states just really don't understand who we are, don't know how to deal with this type of independent contractor that is not an independent contractor, right? How do we classify them and give them rights? Those are the questions the states asks, right? Texas seemed to have no problem with that. They jumped on it, they got it right. They realize we're a big part of the economy. The pandemic that's a very true statement by one of the subscribers. The pandemic definitely made a big push in the right direction. It's sad that, in these times, in trying times, that the system gets tested on every level, on state level, Fed level, administration level, rideshare level, whatever you want to call it. The system is being tested, right? And out of this, we will grow stronger. Out of this pandemic, once we through this in a few months' time, and I think it's completely idiotic to try to get to business as normal in May. The administration wants to go back to normal. We need to let the sucker die down first, right? We need to listen to the Faucis of the world, right? And not to bring politics into this, but I think there's a little bit of a battle and a feud going on between Trump and Fauci. Fauci understands the pandemic. Trump wants the economy to open up. And I would say put health over dollars every day of your life, right? Your health is more important than Idaho. How are you? Good to see Idaho in the house. Thor is in the house. Give me the hammer, Mark. Give me the hammer. No, what I was just saying is that there's definitely this little conflict going on between the administration, let's say Trump, and his pandemic advisor, Fauci. Fauci looks at this. Fauci has served under many presidents, right? Fauci looks at this as a major health issue. How do we get through it without costing more American lives? And I would say, hey, if it means staying at home, if it means slowing the sucker down like they did in China, they got a pretty good grip on it because the government was hardcore, kept the people indoors. Nobody was allowed to go out, you know, obviously only to buy groceries and that type of thing. But here we have to put health over dollars, right? And I don't care that big businesses want to go back to business and force their people back to the workplace. We got to be smart here, right? And, you know, looking at overseas countries, I mean, they're pretty disciplined in following the stay-at-home orders, although I was quite shocked that Sweden, I mean, I've been to Sweden a few times, beautiful city, Stockholm, quite surprised that the Swedes are taking this so casually and don't have any stay-at-home rules, right? Allowing people to just go out, go into shopping centers. God forbid, like a whole nest breaks out in Sweden. But, you know, again, those people are very healthy. They live very healthy. Just pray that something doesn't break out in Sweden. All countries need to work together, slow the sucker down. I hope we can all go back to normal life. Ziggy says brainwashed shepels. Yeah, I hope we can all go back to normal life in 60, 90 days time. But I truly think it's premature if the administration is trying to open up the workplace in May, in the beginning of May. I tend to listen more to the Faucis of the world, right? Rick Nelson's not working. Trump has said, sorry, the messages are coming so fast. And while I'm driving here again, by the way, check out my t-shirt. It says wash your hands, right? Please do that for me 20 times a day. Wash your hands. Stay safe, peeps. You know, rideshare drivers, food delivery drivers have learned the most out of this. We realize that this little confined space in our car can be a deadly little cage if we don't act smart. And the bottom line is drivers and food deliveries are smart. I mean, drivers are very smart because they stopped driving potential sick people around and then they turn to groceries or food, etc., which at times is also very, very dangerous because you're going shopping and you're constantly surrounded by people. You see anybody that's sniffling or coughing, stay away from them, right? Saddens me that from yesterday to today, in the last 24 hours, 2,000 deaths, and we have now surpassed Italy as the #1 country with the most deaths. And this tells me a lot. This tells me that not everybody is on the same page playing ball. Some states are taking this way too casually. Some governors of specific states are more interested in their economics than lives. A lot of these governors are complete hypocrites, double lives. Like they'll tell you, oh, go out, everything's fine, and then meanwhile you see pictures of them wearing masks and gloves, etc. And then in their messages on tweet, they're completely downplaying the coronavirus and tell you everything's fine, we should not buy into fear. I'm not a person that buys into fear, but I buy into facts, right? And the fact is that from yesterday till today, 2,000 people died. And if people keep on practicing this casual type of lifestyle, hey, no masks, no nothing, go here, go there, mingle. Other day I saw a couple of kids playing together. You know, if people think like that, well, don't be surprised if you pay the price, right? Praying for all my brothers and sisters. Thank you, Leo. Alex, please keep your political BS off here. Yeah, I'm not trying to get politics into this. I'm just trying to talk. I don't know what Alex said, but I'm trying not to attack Republicans and Democrats in this. I'm trying to keep the politics out of this. It's very dangerous if you have a YouTube channel and you get politics involved. I'm looking at the issue, at the problem, right? And we have a right to put the pressure on states, on governors. I think Governor Cuomo in New York is doing the very, very best he can. He's on the phone, you know, he's calling everyone. He's trying, man. He's hurting. His state is hurting. He's doing his best. I can see his intentions are good, right? But, you know, then I worry about Santos and a governor in Florida. He just doesn't fucking take this serious, right? I look at a country like Sweden, just not taking it serious. Every country, every state within the US has got to say, politics aside, right? Economy aside, economy will rebound. What can we do together for the next 60 to 90 days? Republican and Democratic politics aside, what can we do together in the next 90 days to save as many lives, to bring things back to the normal life? And I'm on 9 thumbs up. If you guys could smash that like button, that would be wonderful. We need to keep on reporting facts. We need to keep on taking care of each other in this gig economy. We need to keep on doing our research. What's working for us, what's not working for us, which websites, which unemployment bureaus are working or not. We need to share that information. If somebody scores a victory and gets their first $600 per week, and he was successful or she was successful in doing so, we need to circulate that information back to other drivers so that they can also benefit from that success, right? That's more our duty here. The duties of the people running the country are to keep the entire US safe, over 300 million people. You have a lot of time, my friends, to sit at home and do research. And research doesn't mean you get your knowledge from one source, right? Research doesn't mean you just get all your knowledge from one news station, right? If you relying 100% on CNN or you're relying 100% on Fox Channel, right? What you want to do is research, you know, read what overseas papers are saying, read what BBC is saying, read what Reuters is saying, read what Miami Herald is saying, read what the Chicago Tribune is saying, read what the New York Times is saying, you read what the Washington Post is saying, read what La Opinion is saying, read what Le Figaro in France is saying, read what Die Antwoord in Amsterdam is saying, read what Die Welt in Germany is saying. I read 10, 15, 20 different newspapers, online newspapers a day. I'm subscribed to many. I want to get a overall understanding who's bullshitting and who's not, right? So in between all the news, you can pull out what you know is true. Somebody's making big money on DoorDash. I heard that as well. I heard that. I mean, is Grubhub having a lot of Somebody just says they'll never do rideshare again. I'm not doing Uber and Lyft rideshare again. I'm going to focus now 100% on my private clients and building out other companies. This pandemic was a big way. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about the companies. It showed the company's true colors, right? That in a time of need, these companies didn't step up. And as Mark Cuban, and I keep on repeating myself, as Mark Cuban said, history will judge companies by the way they treated their labor, their workforce during the pandemic, right? History will judge them. So I've seen a lot of words. I've heard a lot of promises. I haven't seen many actions by these companies. And I'm reluctant to go all in after the pandemic for certain companies. They've showed me who they are. You know, Edward says we need to formulate our local strategy, right? I mean, everyone has to have a strategy here, right? Strategy to stay safe, strategy for a backup business once things open up again, and a strategy for now. What do I do now, right now? What do I do right now to stay afloat, to keep my family afloat, to put food on the table, to keep the rent paid, to keep the insurance paid, to make the car payments, to make the Wi-Fi payments, right? That's reality. What do I do now? So strategies, yes, for the future, strategies for the now, strategies for safety. I like the word strategies. Smash that like button. I'm on 19. I know that I can get at least 30 in the next 5 minutes. I get excited when I see likes. I've got to be honest. Likes sort of tell me, you know, whether my time here is valid or not, right? Whether the time I'm putting into videos is valuable or not. Still have to get up at 4 a.m. to make $200. Wow. I am going to switch on the air conditioning. Believe it or not, it's really, really warm in California. Yeah, we need to use these channels, you know, the Dustins, the Harrys, the Torstens, the Daves, the Kevins, the Geos, the Paulas, the Calvins. We need to use our channels to amplify drivers' voices, right? That's important. It's a duty. It's a duty I have, and it's a duty others should have, and that is to hold these companies accountable, or push for more, push for better conditions. And no matter where your journey takes you after this, I'm sure you can say one thing, and that is, we learned a lot. We learned a lot in the last 60 days about everything, about life, about meaning, about business, about strategies, about backups, about direction, about our families, about our friends. The guy's number plate in front of me says Yoda, Y-O-D-A, must be a huge Star Wars fan. Postmates sucks, but DoorDash is better. That's good feedback. Cloud culture, thank you. Obviously you're basing that on, I'm a little bit behind in child support. That could come back and bite you. That will definitely come back and bite you. Especially if your child support is tied up in court and he or she wants to see that money. And if there's any blemish against you by the Department of Child Services, I know firsthand because my fiance's ex is not paying, and the money he should be receiving will obviously go to her just to pay back at least $30,000 that he's in arrears. So I do know a lot about that. I've read a lot of those letters from Department of Child Services that was sent to her because of his inactions, because of him not paying. They went as far as taking her ex's driver's license away. They went as far as taking his real estate license away. It's pretty crazy what the state will do to you if you are in arrears on child support. I guess they try to pressurize you to pay. And it's none of my business, but it's her business. She's battling it out with him, with her ex, and he's not paying. So you have to figure out what works best for you, best for the kids, best for the financial status, you know, and you really need to know your laws. What's up, says Romeo. I see that message. What's up? It's up. It's a beautiful day. Look outside, look out the window, blue skies above, blue skies. They take your license away here in Colorado, yeah. No matter what license you have, mortgage license, real estate license, trading license, they will rip your license away if you're behind in child support. And the one thing I appreciate from my subscriber community, from my friends, from my online family, as I call them, is that people share the victories and people share what doesn't work. So you get a lot of intel, you get a lot of data from the driver, from the gig community, and then I can just channel that back through the live stream so that if we have a success in Texas, great, let's follow that formula of success, right? Teddy, welcome. He shared with me what's working in, is it in Pennsylvania? Is that right? I think you sent me something in Pennsylvania. So it is my intention today to do a video of what is working in Pennsylvania. And then some people say, well, tell us how to do it in California. The bottom line is, I can tell you something about California. They don't have their shit together yet, right? They don't have their online process together yet. They're still wrangling with the whole misclassification issue because of the ongoing lawsuits. A lot of the stuff is still in limbo. It's still in the court system and hasn't been heard yet. A lot of it's still a battle, ongoing battle between Uber and Lyft. That's why you're not being paid in California, right? So how are you, brother? Good to see you. Happy weekend, Bella. Yes, Pennsylvania, the governor says they're testing a program. Okay, so testing a program means they're having in place. They're probably conducting beta tests. And the moment they believe their program, their testing is sufficient and it works, then they release it, right? Then they push it out there to the public so that the citizens of Pennsylvania then have an effective working system. At that moment we report on it, right? And such a large country, so many states, so many individual processes, right? I know that when I lived in Europe for 17 years in Germany, in Holland, in England. It's not like every county or state had their own procedures. It's pretty much universal, right? Pretty much universal. It was not like everyone was working against each other. Believe it or not, I think Germany had one of the most well-functioning systems in the world. Everything, education-wise, hospital-wise, healthcare-wise. Okay, taxes were high. You know, I worked for 4 years for a big German company called Hochtief AG, biggest building company in Europe, as a project manager. And No matter where you turn to, whether you turn to the subways, whether you turn to the trains, whether you turn to, everything was functioning. In Germany, everything functioning. Bum, 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 right? I talk to my friends overseas. I have a lot of friends. I studied in Germany as well. I have a lot of friends in Europe. I talk to my friends in Germany. I say, how are you guys doing? No, it's good. You know, they got their money. They got the support money from the state in their bank. They said they're not worried. They say, hey, as long as we work together, as long as we eat healthy, got enough money here for 4 months to see everyone through. I mean, oh, wow, really? And then that's like calling people up in Munich, calling people up in Hamburg, calling people up in Essen, calling people up in Düsseldorf, calling people up in Aachen. I have all these different friends in different, in Bonn. Everything seems to be working fine. No complaints. Just, you know, how do we deal with the stir craziness of staying at home with the entire family? That's sort of like their main thing. Like, okay, how do we keep ourselves busy at home? But as far as the system goes, as far as the unemployment checks being mailed out, they all have their money, all of them. For all of those cities that I mentioned, I have a lot of friends in Europe, a lot. And I've nurtured those relationships for many, many years. So I like to check in and like, hey, what's going on over there? Is it working? I have friends in Italy, you know. A couple of weeks ago, checked in with them, you know, in Florence or Rome or down in Mordicad, right down in South Italy. Check in with people. How's it going there? Pretty bad. Very, very negative mindset. They were not happy. Rather chaotic. Friends in Denmark, everything's fine over here. Friends in Holland, everything's fine over here. So why all this bullshit chaos? Why is California still struggling? I mean, California has Google, California has Uber, California has Lyft, California has Apple, California has all these big companies, right? Who are all taking their money overseas, not really paying it into the US economy, all hiding their monies overseas. But why can't a big state like California, 35 million plus, have something functioning in place for independent contractors? You know, turn to Texas. Look at Texas. Seems to be working well over there. Just unacceptable that a lot of states are still lagging behind. It's unacceptable. You guys can smash the like button. That would be great. Oh, you had a bait and switch happen to you? I'm sorry about that. I try to put as much exposure on that whole bait and switch thing with Instacart, with Postmates, Uber Eats, and it's my job to do more. You know, we need to do more live feeds, because I tell you, the one thing about those live feeds, if you make a normal video, right, it doesn't get much exposure. If you do a live feed, you get such great rankings on Google, on YouTube. You get way more public involved, right? So we need to, and I'm saying we, us YouTubers, need to do a far more better and aggressive job amplifying the issues, amplifying what's not working for gig workers. And this whole tip bullshit thing, I'll show you some screenshots tonight or tomorrow in a video of how people are really luring, you know, baiting the people in. Hey, I have this massive promise here, you're going to get this big tip. They're going out there and then they're yanking those tips away. It's unacceptable. To me, that's a binding contract. And the people, Mervyn Khan, you're blowing up my phone at the moment. If you could just hold off until getting a lot of messages coming through from Mervyn Khan, and I'm sure he's on the live stream right now. I appreciate all your messages, but I can't read them while driving. I'm just talking, right? rideshare relief. Where is the rideshare relief? And then you have companies like Uber and Lyft that their attitudes, oh, you know what, government's going to bail us out, the government's going to get us out of it, going to take care of all of the problems and the headaches that we should be dealing with, government will take care of Uber and Lyft drivers, government will take care of DoorDashers, government will take care of, that's their attitude. They all think they're in for a free ride, and meanwhile all of their patents, all of their sister companies are all registered in offshore countries, offshore accounts, so that they don't have to pay any taxes. Pretty fucked up if you ask me. I wonder if a company like SoftBank, the CEO's son, I think his name's Miyashi, he put so many oranges and apples into one basket, thinking that, all of these tech companies like Uber, Lyft, WeWork will all work out, and man, they are stressing out. Even SoftBank, I was watching SoftBank, they're hurting. They backed the wrong donkeys here. Oh, grandfather died? He did? Sorry to hear that. Rideshare relief. My prayers are with you, brother. Sending you love and light. Rideshare relief. A little prayer here. Send our love and light to your family, to your extended family. It's tough. You look at an incident like Pearl Harbor, you look at 9/11, where 2,500 plus people died in one incident, in one tragedy, in one terrorist attack. And you look at the coronavirus pandemic, where people 2-3 months ago said, oh, nothing to worry about, all just media hype, all just fear tactics, made it a political game between Democrats and Republicans. But let me tell you what reality is, right? Reality from yesterday till today, 2,000 dead people. That's almost as much. The deaths from today, mark my words, the deaths from today, Saturday to Sunday, tomorrow morning, let me just say 2,500 people maybe in one day. That'll be the equivalent of one Pearl Harbor attack or one 9/11. Let's put that into perspective for a moment. Let's take those three scenarios: Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and the deaths from the pandemic from today till tomorrow will all be the same. Combined, over 7,500 people. Not all just Americans, obviously a lot of Brits, Canadians, and a lot of different people died, but to put real numbers into perspective, to put facts into perspective here, people need to take this serious, man. I have another guy who backed out of a conversation with me in a live feed, says, don't worry, I'll be fine, I'll just pray, God will take care of me, I'm still driving, I don't need a mask, I don't need gloves. I'm like, dude, wake up, man. The minimum you could do, right? The moment I get out of my car, I put this on, but now what I also do is you've got the money to get a bandana, right? Is this too difficult? Is this too difficult to go shopping like this, right? You go shopping like this, cover your eyes. Is this too difficult? This is not too difficult. I can still speak to you. You still understand me. You still know who I am, right? Now, imagine 6 months ago, you'd walk into a bank like this. Imagine 6 months ago, you'd walk into a shopping center like this. Imagine 6 months ago, you'd walk into any store that people will probably draw a gun and think that you're trying to rob them. They probably would think you're trying to rob them. But in today's time, this is what's needed, right? This is what's needed. So this is the minimum you can do, right? Even if you don't own a mask, get yourself a piece of cloth or take a pillowcase, cut out a triangle, take some cloth. You have fabric at home. And that's what I need to do the moment I get out of this car. I mean, it is a requirement right now in California. And I think this is one thing Governor Newsom did right. He may have done a ton of other things wrong, but the one thing he got right is, you know, you get out your car, ladies and gentlemen, you go into a shopping area, you go anywhere into a mechanic shop, everyone has to wear a mask. Yeah, you can put a plastic sheet in the back of your car, 100%. Yeah, no, I hear you. Some neighborhoods may take those colors seriously, but look, everyone, gangster or non-gangster, knows that in these times, it's not about the bandanas or the colors, it's about safety, it's about saving lives. And here in LA, which is a big metropolitan blend of people, you know, I see Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, whites, whoever, everyone, doesn't matter whether it's a blue, orange, yellow bandana, mask, or a sheet, everybody's working together. I like that, by the way. You know, I like that this guy was the first to call a stay at home, while a guy like Santos in Florida is still fucking around with the lives of people. Seriously? Call it as it is, a pandemic, right? While I'm driving, somebody made a donation of $2. I will give you a personal shout out. I didn't see that, my eyes were on the road, so I apologize for that. But whoever that person was, thank you. Gracias, merci, dankeschön, grazie, obrigado. Highways are very empty. I'm cruising at 85 miles an hour. Cruising. So I ask you kindly, if you see a neighbor or if you see a group being a little bit reckless in these times, kindly ask them to step up. I know that you are doing everything in your power to keep yourself and your family safe. But even if it means just reaching out to a brother, a sister, a neighbor, bringing attention to something and saying, hey, would be nice if you could participate or work together with us, right? Let's try and be a positive influence on others around us so we can get through this. Love you or hate you, you are one true, interesting character, true love. Yeah, I tell you, my upbringing, true love, is probably like no other. I think I'm a combination of a madman, a combination of street smarts, a combination of a great father, and I'll put that first. I think my strongest asset is that I'm an amazing father. But I am who I am, and nobody's going to take it away from me. And I don't want to change, right? I'm a product. You are a product of your upbringing. You're a product of your parents' parenting. You're a product of how you grew up in your neighborhood, the people that surrounded you, that influenced you. You're a product of your grandparents who stepped in and were babysitting or took care of you while your parents were out on a date night. You're a product of all of that. So I own and wear that hat proudly. I can tell you, if I passed away today or tomorrow, no regrets, man. I've lived my life, I can tell you that. I've tried everything out. I've tried to be the best person possible. I was definitely an arsehole in my 20s. I was definitely a big egomaniac and crazy guy in my 20s, but I have no regrets, right? No regrets. oh, I should have done that, or I should. No, if I wanted to travel somewhere, I worked hard and I went there. If I wanted to go to a restaurant, cheap restaurant or an expensive restaurant, I worked hard and I went there. I have no regrets. My kids want to do something, only if they just try it out for 3 months. No regrets, because I exposed them to it. They want to do this sport or soccer or football. No regrets. Got the trainer, helped them if they like it. Basketball, if they wanted to do volleyball, if they wanted to do acting, if they wanted to do comedy, no regrets. I exposed them to all of it, right? I don't want to pass away with any regrets, folks. You know, something to think about, right? Do you have any regrets? Is there anything that you really would have loved to have done? Oh, I should have done that, or I could have done that. Look, you could still do it, right? You may not have the financial means right now. You can change things, right? But like the guy said, like True Love said, love or hate you, you are an interesting character. And what's more important to me, I'll tell you, you guys want to hear what's probably the most rewarding thing out of this channel. I'll tell you what the most rewarding thing is. You get a lot of personal emails, you get a lot of personal texts, maybe even after you've had one-on-one conversations with individuals every day, and that you change people's lives, and you can change people's lives for the better. Nothing more rewarding than that, my friends. Another very rewarding thing from a channel, once you have a lot of subscribers, is you can push for change. You can push for better conditions. You could push. You've got to leverage that power. And leveraging your power doesn't mean, okay, just because you have some power on YouTube. No, you have social media. You can turn to Twitter. You can write newspaper press releases and get them out to PR, press release, online press releases. You can write, you can email newspaper editors. Got a lot of power to change things. You can show up and vote in November. You can change things. You can vote a senator out. You can vote a congressman in. You can vote a congressman out. That's the power you have. You have the power to change a lot. Abstract impressions in the house. What did Uber do to the amount? Do share with me. I know that they're getting creative with their payouts. They say, oh, you know, we definitely, we're getting more money to more people now, but I think it's just smaller amounts. The last that I read is that you'd have to qualify and do at least one trip in the last 30 days in order to qualify for that sick leave. That was Uber. Lyft got hammered by me and the media for their low payouts because they wanted to make it conditional on how many hours you drove in March. Unacceptable. Somebody just donated $5. Who was that? If you could just say, hey, I donated the $5. I missed you again because my eyes were on the road. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. I will give you a personal shout out after I watch the live stream and do the next one. But use this time, folks. Use this time. Use it wisely. And hopefully you will never, ever, ever have to be put back into this. It was Rob Ricker. Rob Ricker, huge shout out to you, my friend. I really appreciate you, and whatever your message was, I owe you a shout out on that. Thank you. Again, I hope we will never, ever have to be put into this type of scenario again. I hope that this president, the next president, the president in 8 or 12 years' time has a game plan for a pandemic. And I hope that, let's say, China does something about these wet markets, right, where they mix bats and dogs and cats. You know, I have nothing against the Chinese. I don't judge any nationality. I just hope that certain countries and their governing bodies and their presidents and their leaders learn from this. China, they say, hey, you know what? These wet markets mixing all of these crazy animals in one cage doesn't work. It doesn't work. We need to change ways. We need to change our thinking. There might have to be some cultural changes. I'm on 52 likes. If we can drum it up to 60, that would make me happy. Flying down the highway, I should close down. I was just hitting 90 miles an hour. I need to slow down. Cop's gonna pull me over in a second. Okay, slowing down to 80. Here in Nevada, they're all stopping in elections and late fees. And oh, you did. Fantastic. Simple script. So do report on what's working and what's not working. So if we do get a victory somewhere, if someone actually does get their first $600, you got your first $600 in your account for that week, and you get your second $600 in the account for the second week, that's a victory, right? I see that as a huge victory. Share exactly what you did. Nobody's going to take that victory away from you. Just share that victory with others so that people can duplicate your efforts because you were successful. Okay, now I do have a police cop behind my car. I'm going to slow down, maybe let him go by me. I think I'm... Oh, here he comes flying down the left of me. And there he goes. Woo! I'm good. It wasn't for me. It wasn't me. I am not guilty. Massive accident on the left-hand side. How can you have a massive accident when there's no cars on the road? Yeah, it did. Did it scare me? Yeah, I got my heart pounding a little bit because sometimes they just follow you and they monitor your speed, right? I mean, that's how I've got many speeding tickets in the past. They just trail you. They wait for you to hit your highest speed and then they lock that in. And then they come in and say, hey, your highest speed was 86 miles an hour. You were only supposed to be doing 65. I kid you not, I'm almost down in Long Beach. The highway is completely open. One police officer in the front, and I'm trailing another car here at about 78, 80 miles an hour. Nothing going on. Dead. Very, very, very unusual for a Saturday in Los Angeles, Southern California. California, California. Yeah, everyone's going 80 to 85 like it's the normal new speed, right? Hey, this is the new speed limit. We should change we should put cruise control on, as Trish said. Let's put cruise control on 85. Welcome to the new speed, 85. Passing Atlantic, Orange, and Cherry Avenue. They're trailing you because they're running your license. That could be. Maybe then they look at your history of your fines, like trail you, they run your license. Oh, this guy has got a lot of speeding fines in the past. We better stay on his ass. Use your cruise control. My foot tends to get a little bit. That's one nice thing about the real old cars. Can't really go more than 70 miles an hour. I literally have a plane, a small plane about 200 feet above me, flying exactly my way. I was looking like the guy was going to land on the freeway. So I probably will do another video at a exhaust and muffler shop. I do sometimes take my cars all the way down to this guy, because if a muffler system costs $500, he does it for $250. If a muffler system costs $400, this guy does it for $200, and he does a better job. Tiny little shop in Long Beach. Excellent craftsmanship. So if you're anywhere in Southern California and you have catalytic converter issues, muffler issues, exhaust issues, gasket issues, you go to this guy. So I know I'm going to do another live feed in his little place, or maybe I'll do a video. Depends if you guys want me to do a live feed. You said, Karen, you need to fight this. I'm not following, but where's Karen having difficulties? How can we help? How can we help Karen? Or do I need to jump into the feed later on and see what's up with Karen? Anybody give me an update on how one can help Karen? Somebody just said, let's help Karen fight this. Karen got $347 for 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Karen, were you expecting more? How much were you expecting, Karen? And what did they base that on? What did they base that on? $347 sick leave for 2 weeks? Come on, give me a break. How long have you been driving with him for? Expecting $1,000 and you got 340 something. Wow, so something's horribly wrong in their calculations. I mean, how long have you been driving? You've been driving for 8 months. What do you average per week? How many hours? 650 a week. So let's do some math here. Let's do some math. You received $350 for 2 weeks, right? Let's see how much, let's work out how much you generated. You did $650 per week times 4 weeks, right? That's $2,600 per month times 8, that's 16,000 plus 4,800, that's 20, you generated roughly $20,800 for them. I just worked it out. I love doing math in my head. You generated roughly $20,800 for them over 8 months based on the numbers you gave me. And out of that $20,800, because they made the equivalent, if that's what you made, they made the equivalent, right? It's 50-50 usually, right? They, out of that $20,800, they paid $350 forward to you. That's not bueno. That's not good. That's unacceptable. And that's how you have to market it. Karen, that's how you have to market it. You have to turn to Twitter. I've been working for 8 months. I generate $650 a week for myself, $650 minimum for Uber per week. I generated $20,800 for Uber in 8 months, and they paid me $375. Shame on Dara, shame on, and you got to shame them. You got to show the public what you made for them and what they paid you back. That's how you market this issue, right? But the only way you do that is you open up your Twitter account and you watch some videos how to tweet. You find out what hashtags mean. You find out what at signs mean, and you attach these people and you tell the story. I worked for 8 months for Uber, made an average of $650 per week, which means they made equivalent or more, which means they made $20,800, and I got $375. I got $340 lousy dollars from Dara. Shame on you, Dara. This is how you treat the people. So you got to shame them, right? You got to shame them. You got to hold up the mirror and show the public how these people do the numbers. That's how I do it. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I'm on 57 likes. I've almost hit my destination. I'm on Redondo Avenue in Long Beach. Love and light, how are you? And if we could just get it up to 60, COVIDara19, hashtag COVIDara19 like crazy. Let's get that super viral. Right now, where am I? Scott Tucker. I'm down here. There's a tire place. These guys are very busy. They're always open and they are deemed essential. The Discount Tire on the corner of Anaheim and Redondo, that's where I am right now. They deemed essential, so they open. Good guys here. I can highly recommend this tire shop. They're good. They're really decent in their prices, good service. Homeless guy with his pants down. Did you see that, guys? Just caught a homeless guy with his pants down. Like no shame, just getting naked in the middle of the street, changing his clothes, ass butt exposed to the world. Come up to 8th. Let's see if these guys are all following protocol and have their masks on. Yep, Nicholas has his mask on. Looks like a full house. So, I do want to make another. Video. Oh wow. Woman was killed on the 118 freeway after assaulting an Uber driver here in LA. Wow, 118, that's just around the corner from me. My friends, I am gonna make a video from the muffler shop. In fact, I am gonna gangster, I'm gonna go and rob a bank now. I need 5 million. I'm gonna go, all the skills that I learned on GTA 5, I'm gonna go and use now. I'm gonna go and rob a bank, make a quick $5 million, and then I'm gonna go to an island and just sit out the pandemic. I wish. But it makes sense, right? 5, 6, 7 months ago, if you walked into any store like this, or let's say where are my glasses? If you'd walked into a store like this, my friends, people would get freaked out. Freaked out. Gloves on. No fucking around. Have a great day, everyone. I am gonna do another live feed from the muffler, from the exhaust shop, purely because I want to share that secret, that gem with Southern California drivers. Always like to show people, businesses that really treat drivers well, right? Good day, Teddy T. I love you, buddy. Much love. Mucho love from California for Teddy T and for everyone. You rock. If we can smash that like button so I can get to 60, and I promise I will fight the fight for you guys, right? The lion will go into killing mode. He will not stop. I'm relentless. I'm going to eat a lot of flesh for you guys, right? The lion is going to go out. The lion is going to fight for you. We're going to be relentless. We're going to have a victory, a big V, my friends. We're going to get through this together. We're going to pump each other up. We're going to stand in solidarity. We're going to go out like a big pride of lions, and we're going to fight for equality. We're going to fight for our rights. We're going to fight for better conditions. We're going to fight for better sick pay. How do we do it? We go lion style. Lion style. Animal lion style. The beast. Bring out the beast in us. There's Ruben's in the house. Ruben just rolled in. We're going to fight, my friends. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. Nothing's going to get us down. We are going to be relentless like lions. Ruben, baby! My brother.
How you doing, Thursday?
This is my brother.
How you doing, my
Look,
friend?
doing good. Look, we following protocol. You got the mask on.
That's it, my
Hey, where did you get the masks from, Ruben?
Oh my goodness, Alex get it from me from I'm pretty sure from some store somewhere.
Oh, he found it?
Yeah,
So it took a while before you found them?
that's it.
It's not easy, huh?
It's kind of a short in supply. It's kind of a crazy.
Yeah. Hey, you full house here. I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice.
I'm going to take the car down to the muffler shop, and I'm going to do another video at the muffler shop.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know.
So we'll tell him, I want to tell him we'll support the local guys.
Okay, let me-
Because remember that radiator guy, he is killing it since I made that video. He has like over 2,000 views.
That's nice. That's nice.
He called me up.
His name is John O'Daring,
Okay.
and you can leave this one. Or you want
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Ruben just says hi.
That's very nice.
Thank you. This is the gentleman that fixes all my cars. Alex is in the house. Alex, you wearing your sexy mask.
I'm a naughty nurse.
You're a naughty nurse. Naughty nurse is in the house. Hey, Nicholas, you're cheating the system, bro. Where's your blue diaper? Where's your bandana? He has to get it quickly. I'm guilting him into wearing his fabric. All right, amigos. I love you all. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and then I'm going to continue my feed, another video when we get into the muffler store. Is the muffler store far away from here, Alex?
No, we just came from there, but they're closed.
Oh, they closed.
They close at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, geez, like. Okay, I got all excited. I thought I could...
It's right here in PCH after, I think, Orange?
But we didn't bring the car down there, right? I still have to...
No, we
Okay.
we didn't have time.
No problem. And what time are we going to close shop today?
I don't know, maybe like in an hour or so?
Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. Hey, Ruben, the muffler shop is closed, huh?
Yeah, let's let me call. Let me call right now. Since they're still open, they're doing some job. Maybe they can take us. We can leave the car there.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you right now.
Okay. Shit, I'd be upset if they closed already. I drove all the way down for that. All right, 67 likes. I need 3 more, and then I can really, really, really enjoy my weekend. I need this guy who's about to rob a bank here. If Dara and Logan Green are not paying you, I'm gonna have to go and rob a bank like this and get some money for you guys. GTA style. GTA 5. 70. Whoop whoop. Ukaman, I saw you earlier. Love and light. All of you guys, you rock. Have an amazing weekend. Stay safe. And we're gonna connect soon, okay? Let's work together on this, my friends. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful, wonderful, safe weekend.